Hey, what's up, world, and welcome to the 33rd edition of the Take One podcast. And this one is a special podcast. I'm going to be doing something completely different. Well, not completely different, but as you guys notice, I've had an influx of videos throughout my channel within this past week, and this is going to continue to keep going. I've said that I had like stuff going on. I'm going be doing a rebranding of my channel. It's still in the process of doing. I was trying to have it done by the beginning of this month, but as you can see, it's not everything is not right there. But I am catching up on a lot of movie reviews, so I've been putting out podcast movie reviews and stuff like that, and I got much more to come, and I'm basically working on that. I'm tirelessly working on that. But one of the things that I am going to be doing, I want to eventually do a full-on wrestling podcast. I don't know how I'm going to do it on top of everything I'm doing, or just how I want it. But until I do, every week I'm going to try. I'm not saying it's going to be doing it, but I'm going to be trying my damn hardest to do a Take One podcast, at least basically just one episode per week that is dedicated to all things wrestling. Now, I'm not going to be touching on like a crazy amount of stuff. I'm going to keep it within the 20-30 minute range, like I'm doing the regular Take One podcast episodes and stuff like that. So it's going to be like this, and I'm going to try and have it out maybe every Saturday or Sunday, so be expecting it around that time. But yeah, this is going to be the first edition of the Wrestling Corner podcast. It's the Take One podcast, the Wrestling Corner edition, number 1. Let's put it like that. There we go. And I'm just basically, what I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to be talking about Raw and SmackDown. I'm not going to be recapping it in a sense. I'm just going to be talking about the good and bad things that I got out of both shows. And I'm going to be talking about other things as well. But for this edition, I'm going to just be talking about Raw and SmackDown, the good and bad of it. And then I'm going to give it each show a rating or whatever. And, I'm just fairly keep this short. It's not going to be too long or anything like that. But with all that out the way, let me get right into it. Let's start off with the good and the bad of Raw and SmackDown. Let's start off with Raw. So Raw basically starts off with Roman Reigns and Jason Jordan in the match. And the match, I guess you could say, I really didn't care too much for it. It was a decent match. It wasn't nothing mind-blowing or anything like that. It was just a match. It went on. It fit the story for John Cena and Roman Reigns, confrontation later on. So the match goes on. Reigns wins or whatever, just straight, flat out wins. No fuckery or anything like that. So Reigns wins. Cena gets interviewed and asked how, what did he think of the match? And so he said that he's gonna tell Roman Reigns to himself. One of the things that just kind of stood out to me is when Reigns came out after John Cena's match, it was like he came out right after the match. So it was like a surprise. So I'm like, when John Cena said that, went on commercial, I'm like, okay, that seemed kind of weird. And then when he came back off commercial, whatever, it had Roman Reigns just sitting in the corner like he was waiting for John Cena. And I thought that was kind of weird, because it was like, did he get told? I mean, I guess, I'm thinking all more like storyline. I know y'all, I don't want y'all to be thinking like, oh, he thinking all this is real, but it's in storyline. Stuff needs to make sense. And it's like, we didn't see anybody tell him or anything like that John Cena was coming out. So I felt like they should have played it as if, he came out and it was just a surprise. Like Roman Reigns really wasn't expecting him, or if he was expecting him, he wasn't sitting there waiting for him to come out. So that was one thing that just threw me off. But that's just a little nitpick, just something I put or whatever. I guess, I don't know, I guess it's how you look at it. And so Cena comes out, and so Reigns and Cena have their whole face-to-face, and Cena tells him like, yo, so you came out last week talking about my match with Jason Jordan, how it took me so long to put down a rookie, and it took you about 20 minutes to do that, and you're the man. And it was a very entertaining back-to-back. I know a lot of people are getting like bored of the whole Cena Reigns thing, but I find it entertaining. Certain parts is like, yeah, okay, whatever. But overall, I find it, and it was like he was just Cena he's a beast when it comes to just murdering people as far as verbally, because Reigns he's not there, and it's just it basically it shows with him going against John Cena as far as vocally. It shows the range that Reigns have when it comes to speaking, and it amplifies it to the max, because Cena is just so good on the mic that when it comes to Reigns, it really just I don't know, it's I can't even find the words. It's just it. But yeah, so because Cena, he comes out and he says something to us like, I guess you're gonna say the reason, blah blah blah, whatever. This is my yard, believe that, and stuff like that. Just basically mocking him, saying that's basically what he's gonna say. He don't need to speak. And then Roman Reigns here spoke, and then John Cena was like, you know what? You ain't gotta worry about me coming out here and burying you. You come out here and bury yourself. All I gotta do is let you talk. And just the confrontation back and forth, and basically how they were just going at each other, was really entertaining. Like, I'm not a big fan of Cena. I'm not a big fan of Reigns. I'm not like one of them people that just be like, oh, I hate Reigns or I hate Cena. I just hate the way that they're used. I wish that they would have turned John Cena a long time ago again, but they didn't. So it kind of sucks the way they position his character. At this point, it's too late. It's not even going to happen. That's a guarantee. But with Reigns, they need to make him heel. They really do. But in any case, yeah, it's just, I was finding myself entertained by this. This is a match that I actually really want to see. This is a match that I definitely want to see. That I'm not about to, I don't know, a lot of people don't want to see this, like, I don't like Cena, I don't like Reigns. But I really want to see this match. I really do. But let me hurry this up. And so it just kind of, when John Cena was about to leave, Roman Reigns stops him and said, "Bring your bitch ass up here." And that's one thing that I don't like about what Roman Reigns is doing. From the first big promo that they had together, where basically he couldn't. Actually, yeah, it was the contract signing where he couldn't remember his lines, and he just used the word bitch and stuff like that. To me, it just seems like that's a cop out. Basically, when somebody can't roast somebody or roast, I don't know if you guys know, I'm from Chicago, but roast just means talk about them really bad. Of course y'all would know. Y'all on, what is it, Comedy Central, you got the roasters, whatever. But in any case, so yeah, it's just, when somebody can't, go back and forth with somebody, like tit for tat, and basically just resort to using the curse words, to cursing, to doing something personal. And to me, that's what Reigns did. And it's like, he's okay, yeah, the first time or whatever, he used bitch. Okay, cool, whatever. It wasn't, but okay, first time. Now he using it almost every time, and it's like, bring your bitch ass back in here. Like, why are you using it? It just, I don't know, it's I ain't gonna say it's tasteless, but it shows that Reigns is not up there verbally to where he can go back and forth with John Cena. And so he makes a little wisecracking about him not being able to crack into Hollywood, which is not true, because John Cena is getting he's getting movie calls. He's going to be in the new Bumblebee movie. He was just in a movie this year, I mean, it wasn't a big movie, but it was in theaters. He's been in several movies before. I mean, some of them, whatever, but he has been in movies, and I've heard something that he may be Shazam in the movie. So it's like he's getting movies. He's getting these movie opportunities. So when he said that, it was like, really? What, are you not paying attention to, what's happening? And he's, if I'm not mistaken, he either is shooting a movie now, or he's about to start shooting a movie. I believe it's the Bumblebee movie. So that I don't get. And then he says that he knows a guy, of course, The Rock, his cousin. And then John Cena said that, when somebody gets personal, sometimes you gotta fight fire with fire. And this at No Mercy, just think of me as a drug test. You're not getting past me, and drops the mic and walks off. So I thought that was cool, whatever. They ended off like that, and I thought that it's just the one thing. It's a good and bad thing about this whole situation, because it's like I don't like the whole fact of them trying to get real and mixing it in with kayfabe, because it's like, yeah, you're pointing out the problems that WWE has with you and him. And like just other superstars are doing the same thing, but it's like you're pointing out the problems and making fun of it. You're using what people are seeing on the internet and what people are seeing on podcasts and fans and all that stuff. You're using what they're saying about your wrestlers, and you have given the wrestlers reins, or the lines to say what the people are saying about them, but you're not changing anything. So I don't get that. It's kind of a 50-50. Like, it's cool because it's like, it's blows, you just bam 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 bam, but at the same time it was like, yeah, but I mean, is that gonna change anything? WWE still gonna run the same. So moving on from that, just wanted to put this out there. I didn't really care too much for this match, Sasha versus Emma. Sasha wins. Sasha is just so fucking sexy to me. It's just so sexy. I just wanted to bring that up. That was a good thing about Raw. You're gonna probably hear a lot each time that I do this, that is going to be part of the positives of Raw, is Sasha, because she is so sexy. Just so sexy. Oh my gosh. Okay, then moving on, you got the next big thing, no pun intended. You got Strowman and Lesnar confrontation. Paul Heyman comes out, talks about, how Strowman beat Lesnar down. And then he calls Strowman out, says that Brock Lesnar wants to fight, so come out and fight. Strowman comes out and just completely lays out Lesnar. Just lays him out. And this, I like how they're building Braun Strowman up. They're making him very, very powerful. I mean, he's already a big guy, but they're making him seem like superhuman. And it's kind of crazy. Like, I'm going to talk more with Braun Strowman because I do got a lot to say, but I'm not going to do it because I'm trying to keep this a little bit, short, and I'm already at 12 something minutes. But, yeah, it's just they're making him to be very, very, very powerful. Just, I love what they're doing with Braun Strowman. It's just, what is going to be the payoff? The payoff has to be something major. Maybe not even like Survivor Series. Give him the title at either Royal Rumble or WrestleMania. That would be the perfect time. But yeah, he lays out Lesnar and basically just holds up the title. And that was one of the best things of it. Before he even does that, it's like the whole suplex thing that freaking Lesnar gave to Strowman, and Strowman literally got right back up. That was one of the best things they could have done that night. And that was just off the chain. So, moving on, you got the tag teams. They erupt. The Hardys and not the Hardys. Freaking Ambrose and Rollins get into it with Sheamus, Cesaro, and then Anderson and Gallows interferes, and then basically Angle makes the match for 8-man tag. That if Rollins and Ambrose can find another tag team, find other 2 people, or just another tag team, then they'll have the 8-man tag. And so we move on to Elias and Kalisto. Elias wins. Blah blah blah. It actually was a decent match. I put that in the good because it was a decent match. I enjoyed it. Next was Strowman versus Cena. Cena wins via countout. Well, not countout, via disqualification because Strowman used the stairs. And yeah, that was actually a pretty good match. Like, Cena actually, man, he let Strowman have it. And I mean, like, he let him just beat the hell out of him. This is like I ain't gonna say it was like the SummerSlam Lesnar match, Cena Lesnar match, but it was basically close to that because Strowman was like, Strowman had the upper hand literally throughout this whole match. And like, Cena gave him a little offense, just a little offense, but when it come down to it, Strowman dominated the whole match. There was no. I mean, Cena made Strowman look good. So that was actually pretty good. I didn't think that they were going to do what they do, but I already knew before the match ended that they wasn't going to give Cena the win because they're building Strowman up for this for like No Mercy, and then they're not going to let Strowman win clean with John Cena because that's John Cena, which I think they should have done because that would literally catapulted him to people thinking like maybe he could beat Lesnar. But I mean, I'll give you my predictions next week on who I think is going to win that match. Which you guys already. Well, anyway, I'm gonna just move on. And then, like, one of the things that I didn't get is that John Cena, yeah, he won by disqualification, but Strowman hit him with the stairs. And the referee didn't call the disqualification. And then later on, Corey Graves even like said that like that should have been the disqualification when he hit him with the stairs. Because literally he picked up the stairs and hit Cena with it. And I'm just like, is this no disqualification? Like, ain't he supposed to get disqualified? But he didn't get disqualified until I'm about to say Roman. Strowman slammed him on the stairs. Like, that right there shouldn't have been a disqualification. Hitting him with the stairs should have been a disqualification. So I don't know if that was part of the storyline or that was just a ref fuck up. Because that didn't really seem right. I think, and they sent Corey Graves to clean that up. So I don't know. I think that was kind of like a little botch. But I mean, it probably wasn't. So I don't know. One of the other big things that I did like about Raw was the whole Miz Enzo thing with Miz TV and Enzo came out. All I can say is Enzo, he's getting buried. There is nothing more to say about that. He's literally getting buried. He's a mouthpiece. They should have kept him with Big Cass, but just kept Big Cass, but just pushed Big Cass and just kept Enzo, just kind of like as a manager, And every now and then he could take bumps. They should have done that instead of having Big Cass turn on Enzo, because now Enzo is just floating around. They had him by himself, didn't know what to do with him, put him on 205 Live, so we think he's gonna be right there. No, he's interacting with the Raw talent as well, and it's like, how are you interacting with the Raw talent? You're on 205, but the other 205 people, superstars, can't interact with the Raw. It's just, I don't know. It's so convoluted. But so Miz tore into Enzo like it was no tomorrow. Like, I almost wanted to cry for Enzo, how bad Miz tore into him. Basically talking about how he got kicked off the bus because nobody liked him, how he get kicked out the locker room because nobody likes him, how he's just floating around because they don't know what to do with him, like WWE management and stuff don't know what to do with him, and that that's why he's not championship material, so he's not going to win against Neville, and that's why Big Cass beat him down. And he just gave him, like, literally, Enzo, he is a talker, but he could not recover. He could not recover. And I think that right there, it buried Enzo. Enzo is whatever. So they have a match, because Enzo wanted to fight. So they have a match, and freaking Enzo wins by disqualification because the rest of them, the Miz Taraj got involved. But during the match, one thing that I did like about it, but I didn't like about it, was the talking aspect of it throughout the match. How Enzo said something, then Miz said something, then Enzo said, I love that. I love that. I think, like, I ain't gonna say more often, but every now and then, someone should do that. Like, I love that. The thing that I didn't like about it was the whole thing of Enzo basically saying stuff about Maurice. Saying that, like, you shouldn't be asking about how you doing. You should be asking about who's your daddy or who's the daddy. It's like you're putting Enzo as a good guy because you put him against Cass. So Cass is the heel and he's the face. But yet he's doing heelish stuff. But he's a face. And I get it. Sometimes heels do that. You might have Dean Ambrose do it. Some faces walk that line. Ric Flair done it and stuff like that. He play dirty, so cool. But when you put them in a position to where they're saying stuff like that to a heel, and just really something about like his family, his wife, and his unborn child, it's like you're making Enzo a heel. He's a face, but you're making him a heel. And at the same time, you're turning a heel face because literally, Miz is fighting for the honor of his wife. And that's the same thing they did with Rusev. Like, it's just, I don't think they know how to do this. This is just something to where it's like, okay, we're just going to do this. I think they have like a plan, but then how they do a lot of times that they change things around. And that was just, I don't know, what they're doing with Enzo. It's just, they need to get their acts together. But that was one of the best aspects, was just that, how he tore into Enzo. That was crazy. And then another good thing, I enjoyed the match, the last match to end off the show, which was Sheamus Cesaro, Gallows Anderson versus the Hardys and Ambrose and Rollins. And freaking the Hardys and Ambrose win after Sheamus and Cesaro walk out on Gallows and Anderson. And it was actually a pretty good match. I enjoyed it. It was really good. Just to run through some of the bad things I didn't like. I mean, it's not really too bad then, because this actually wasn't really a bad show. I really didn't find anything too bad with it. I just didn't care about the Jason Jordan and Roman Reigns match. The Sasha Emma match, I didn't care too much for that, besides looking at Sasha. And that was about it for Raw. Like, that was the bad stuff. I mean, the best things that came out of Raw was, I say number one. Actually, it's kind of a, I guess you could say, it was kind of a tie between the Miz tearing down Enzo and the Strowman beating down Lesnar. And then the next thing is after that is the whole Cena confrontation and then the Cena Strowman match. So that was the best things out of Raw. And out of a rating, I'm going to rate it out of 5. I give it a 4 out of 5. Because it was good. I enjoyed it. I didn't have any problems too much with it. It's just certain stuff I didn't really care about it, but wasn't anything that I truly hated about it. So that ends the whole good and bad thing about Raw. Let's go with the good and bad about SmackDown. I'm going to make this like really like quick because actually I ain't got too much stuff to talk about with SmackDown. But yeah, so so the one thing that I did like about it, this is going with the goods. You got Kevin Owens had his rant at the beginning. That was actually entertaining. I love Kevin Owens and how he cuts his promos. It doesn't seem like a regular wrestler promo. It just seemed like a regular person talking. And I love when KO just talks, especially when he's like in the confrontation with someone else. And it's so hilarious. And I love his rant. And then I love the whole aspect of Ziggler coming out with Shane's music and acting like Shane. That was just something that I did like. Also, I did like the Usos versus... Matter of fact, before I get into that. So, not Shane. Shane is suspended. What's his name? Daniel Bryan comes out and tells KO that Mr. McMahon ain't here, but he's going to be here later. So he'll talk to him then. Then next you got the Usos versus the New Day for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, and I enjoyed it. I really did. I enjoyed it a lot. It actually has some good spots in there. I love the way the selling in the match was done between like the Usos and the New Day. I love that, as well as I love the whole ending part when Jay gets put through the table when they're about to do their double frog splash on Big E, and then Kofi Kingston come in and knocks him off the thing, and then Kofi Kingston and freaking Big E do their finisher on I think it's Jimmy, yeah, because Jay got put through the table, so they do their finisher on Jimmy. And they call it the midnight hour, and I just got it. I know I'm slow, but in any case, so New Day wins back the SmackDown Tag Team titles. So I didn't have any problems with that. Natalya and Naomi fought. I guess you could say, I don't know. I guess Natalya wins. she retains the title, so that's a good thing. Vince comes out with the face-to-face to Owens. And like I said, this is going to be this ain't a recap of everything that happened on there. But this is just some of the things that I liked of the match, or of the show or whatnot. As well as the Vince Owens face-to-face, and how Vince came out and he was trying to tear into Owens and stuff like that, and telling him that Shane beat his ass, and that's why he couldn't fight back. It wasn't that he didn't want to fight back, it's just that he couldn't. And then he made a match. He unsuspended Shane and made a match between Shane and Owens at No Mercy. Well, yeah, at Hell in a Cell. Well, I think it's at No Mercy. No. No Mercy is Raw. But at Hell in a Cell pay-per-view event. I'm tweaking. So yeah, there's going to be Shane and Owens in the Hell in a Cell match at Hell in a Cell. And then, one thing that I kind of knew what Kevin Owens is going for, because I'm late watching this, so I heard what happened. I'm just trying to see how it transpired. But yeah, so Kevin Owens says that I want your permission that I will not get fired, and I can beat a McMahon senseless. And being in storyline, this man is smart. He should have known that when he said beat a McMahon, senseless. He should have known where he was going with that. But he played stupid to things, storyline. And so he said, like, you have my guarantee that you won't get fired for beating a McMahon senseless. They shake on it, and then Kevin Owens gets him a straight headbutt. Vince starts bleeding from the forehead. And then he comes back and Owens kicks Vince in the side. Then he kicks him in the face, give him a super kick in the face. And then he comes out, and then he gets back up on he gets on the apron and he does a frog splash. This was one of the best parts of SmackDown this week. I did really enjoy that. That was something. Man, that was some good shit. That was some good shit. And I'm astonished by the way Vince is taking bumps still. I'm just astonished, and it's like, it's crazy. Like, I think Stephanie needs to take a lesson from her father. This guy is like 70, 80 something years old, and he's still taking bumps. Not like big, huge bumps or nothing, but he's still taking bumps. Like, Vince McMahon, do whatever the bullshit people want to say about Vince and whatever, but he will get in that ring and he will get his ass beat, all for the love of entertainment, all for ratings. Stephanie McMahon would not do that, and that's what's failing with her. But that's neither here or there. That's just one thing I wanted to say about that. The bad stuff. The backstage interview. This is kind of like a nitpick, but the backstage interviewer, the female, I don't know her name, but she was robotic as fuck. Like, when you could tell that she was reading something, because it didn't sound organic. Her talking, it sounded like she was reading something, and even just the way she turned. And I think, who is she talking to? Who she about to talk to? She's about to talk to somebody. Oh my gosh, I forgot. But I was just so focused on her just roboticness. It was just, I don't even know if that's a word, but yeah. Yeah. She is sexy. Don't get me wrong. She look good, but, it is what it is. And as well as Jinder's promo was just not funny. It was bad. Yeah, no one in the audience is laughing. It was like, that's a cringeworthy moment that will have somebody just sweating. Like, that was just bad. Yeah, they could have done without that. And then the other thing that I did not like about it was the whole Dolph Ziggler angle and what they're doing with him. I get what he's trying to say, but how they're going about doing it just seemed like he's really getting no reactions. He gets reactions here and there, especially when he came out like the Ultimate Warrior and stuff like that. But, of course, you're going to get a reaction. If someone has no reaction and they come out and say that, like, Anaheim stinks and Anaheim blah, 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 and just start talking, you're going to get some type of boo reaction or whatever. And that's basically what it is. It's just, I'm not enjoying Dolph Ziggler. He seems like he's at the end of his rope, and that's going to be it. That's just going to be it, and he's not going to be at WWE any longer. I want to say by the end of this year or sometime next year, Dolph Ziggler is probably going to be leaving. This is a gimmick that it doesn't go nowhere unless they do something spectacular with it. I don't see them doing it, but right now that's where my mind is at. Is that I'm just until they do something different with Dolph Ziggler. I was a fan of Dolph Ziggler. I want to see him as champion again, but it's just how they're handling him is just man. I can't even speak on it. And so this episode of SmackDown, I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. It wasn't completely bad. You had some good parts to it, but it did have a lot of stuff that I did not like about it. But it wasn't a bad show. It wasn't a bad show. It was decent. So, I mean, take it or leave it. And so that concludes episode 33 of the Take One podcast, the Wrestling Corner edition 1 or edition number 1. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but so that's it. Really, all I gotta say about it. If you like this video and you want me to keep doing stuff like this, hit that like button. Subscribe to my channel so you can see everything that I got going on my channel. Turn the notifications, and I will catch you guys next time on the next one, the Take One podcast. Peace out.